All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Inside the Mind, episode 5 here with the IGL slash team captain. What do you beef? This is Sentinel. How you doing, Sentinel?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Everybody says that. Everybody says that. But you know,
I'm telling the truth though.
you
Don't
are
worry
telling
about
the
it.
truth. Okay, gotcha. You can see a nice vacation background there. Well done.
Yep,
Hope
yep.
you're
I'm on
hope
the
you're enjoying
beach right
yourself.
now.
Be
Yeah,
real.
lots of palm trees.
Nice, nice, nice. That's good to hear. So I guess we'll go ahead and jump right into it. So, talking more future plans in today's interview, obviously with the offseason only in its infancy, but rumors already beginning to stew. So basically, my first question is going to be on a scale of 1 to 10, how different is the roster going to be next season?
Uh, it's gonna be at least like a 7, maybe an 8. It's gonna be a big change. Big
Going to be big
change. Got lots of
changes,
plans.
big changes, lots of plans. Hopefully, we're going to be able to get you to talk about some of those plans. And I guess, there have been a lot of rumors going around about super teams, fielded by not just yourself but multiple players. And with the MMR cap, that's going to be quite difficult to manage. How true are these rumors? How much?
Uh, I mean, I mean, they're kind of true and they're kind of not. I kind of just started the rumor. Well, I mean, me and Milky and Brian. There's a lot of people. Basically, I just kind of started them as a joke for the off season. But I mean, I mean, there's some truth in them. Like I've been talking to some players that are like, I mean, it's all kind of obvious. I've been talking to Brian. He's an FA, so I can really. That's but I mean, I can't really like fully discuss with the currently signed players, but I've been hinting that if they somehow got kicked off their roster, they could find a place with me. I have
Hmm.
a very specific outlines for next season. I didn't really get to do a whole lot that I wanted to do this season, mostly because we were 5 DEs. I had to gain Sansa's trust and Cal. He didn't really know how I would perform as an IGL in general if I would just quit half during the season. Not that he didn't have faith in me, but like IGLing is a
Obviously, right?
stressful
With the
business.
yeah
Yeah,
high stress position, you need to convert results, and nobody really trusts you right away, especially coming into the league as a brand new face. So,
especially
you
it's hard to
know,
get people to trust you for next season when your
mhm,
record was like 1-9 or some shit, or
yeah,
1-8. I
yeah.
don't.
Well, you guys are hopefully going to be able to get decent draft picks here. And kind of talking about that, going back to the super team idea, right? So I guess my next question is, and this is going to be probably the biggest one of all of them. So do you intend to stay with Cal to build this super team, or do you intend to build it somewhere else?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, as long as I kind of made this clear to Sans in a way, like I wasn't like a dick about it, but I was like, yeah, as long as I get primary say on who gets picked up, I have no reason to leave Cal, and that is my plan. I plan to build the roster almost entirely from scratch. Not all players are going to be leaving for next season, but I am going to be inviting quite a bit. I have very specific, I guess, needs, and I don't have a problem with any of the players. Like Pancake, when she left the team, I didn't really have a problem with her. I thought she was a wonderful person. But I'm just trying to plan out like a very specific layout for next season. So I'm kind of, and I will just have, I don't really, I'll even talk about it. I'm kind of like, I'm looking for somebody that has some IGL experience to come on as like a secondary caller slash lurk position. I'm looking for somebody with a lot of communication and that will be able to just be left on their own and actually have like decent game sense for that kind of island sort of role. That's so I gotta look out there in the world of recruits.
Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Oh yeah, has anybody reached out to you specifically? If you want to share that, like, has anybody reached out to you?
uh, there's been a couple people that have talked about joining me if it isn't, I guess, in the cards. Yeah, I've had a couple people. I don't know if I'm allowed to say just for, like I said, poaching reasons, but
There's no rules against it, but you know,
yeah, I
it all just
mean,
kind of
I'll just say like
depends.
I'm like 99 Milky's not gonna be on AP next season. I know he's pretty interested in
Mm.
joining Cal. He's the
Colty's
one that
leaving. Colty's leaving AP, and he's one of the bigger parts of that roster. So I wouldn't be
I heard. I
surprised.
think, I think Noble might be the only person on that team that's actually staying. I'm not 100 on that though. But yeah, no, yeah, Milky's talked to me. Brian's obviously talked to me, being an FA, and we play games together a lot anyway. Those are the two that are most, I guess, like interested in kind of started that conversation with me around the same time. So, but there's been a few others that kind of feigned interest but haven't actually said it. So
Interesting. Interesting. That's interesting to hear. I mean, going back to this season, right? This past season, and obviously you guys struggled. There's no getting around that. I mean, you guys had a pretty rough go of things. Is there anybody specifically, maybe a rival or two, that has a target on their back next year?
I don't really think I have any rivals. Uh, who would I think of? No, I mean I don't really have any like rivals, so to speak. I have people that I
Would really like to beat?
want. What like I mean like I kind of I want to beat Noah just because I think it'd be hilarious to have him lose and like not make playoffs again. That'd be funny, but like
That would
not
be
because
pretty
I don't
funny.
like
Let's be
him,
honest.
but but like not because I don't like it. I just think it'd be funny because he really thinks he's a great IGL, and I just think it'd be funny to just like wreck him in my second season. I don't know, but I
That would
don't
be
have
pretty
anybody that
funny.
I have like an official rivalry with or anything like that.
Hmm. I don't know. People were talking about the Cal
I mean,
YC
maybe
Bad
Enders
Blood.
actually. I would love to just shit on Enders. That'd be hilarious to me.
He's coming back for next
Yeah,
season. He was
yeah.
injured and out. For those of you who weren't here,
So
he
maybe
was injured
that
and
one.
out
That one.
last
I don't know if
season.
it's a rivalry, but it would be pretty hilarious
I mean,
actually
if
for
you
me to
both
just
want to
dunk
beat
on
each
him.
other really bad, sounds like a rivalry to me. But people were
Maybe
talking about, at
actually.
least I've heard rumors of YC. They're rebranded to DOA now. Death's Orchestra rivalry with What Do You Beef in the recruit tier, simply because of the transition. Because it is kind of weird seeing one name swap from
Cause
one roster to
cause a
another.
pancake. I don't really think
I'm
Pancake's
not
my
saying that
rival.
she said that because she didn't. That's not where I heard it. But I did hear
Yeah,
about it.
but I
I
know
did
I
hear
get what
about
you're
it.
saying. Uh, I mean, no, I don't think she's my rival. I actually I like Pancake a lot. I think she's a great person. I don't I would I don't consider Cal their rival just because Pancake's on there. I hope she does really well, and I mean I'm not gonna let her beat me, but I hope she does well against everybody else but me. That's how I see
At
that.
least he's honest, right?
Right?
Are there any players that you're looking to bring in specifically? I know you mentioned Brian. Young Robot is also on the market, so is Wakeful. I believe that there will be
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
FAs.
It's hard to say with the MMR numbers right now. There are people that I think might be like Young Robot's gonna have a big, I think probably a big MMR boost because of his performance even as a sub or a
Mhm.
PFA. So I don't know if he's actually gonna be realistic to grab, especially because I think he'll go back to his previous org that he was on. I don't know if that's true. That's just me speculating. Like I don't know, but yeah, Brian, very interested. Milky, very interested. They both have. I don't really mind saying that because they both have choice of what roster they're going to. Like, they're not going to be. They're probably not going to make it to the draft, right? Like, Brian's going to get picked up somewhere. Milky's going to get picked up somewhere. I mean, I have some unrealistic ones. Like, I wish I could have Kev from Frog. I don't think I'm going to
He's
get
not.
it,
He's
but
not going nowhere.
right, but like, yeah, I don't think I'm actually gonna get that. But it's no secret that Kevin and I are boys, and I would love to have him on Cal, but it's probably not gonna happen. I guess the most realistic interests for me are like Brian, Milky. I can't think of anybody else that realistically would leave their team. I mean, if there's like MMR issues in Frog, maybe Kev could happen, or like maybe if Drop has to leave or something, I would love to have Drop. But I mean, but again, like the only realistic options are probably like Kevin, Milky,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
or not
Gotcha.
Kevin, Milky. Sorry, Brian and Milky.
Yeah, Brian and Milky. I mean, those are two very very strong pieces on their own anyway. And when you do the math, it's definitely possible to have them on your roster. Obviously, you'd have to make some snips, but that's just the nature of the business, right?
Or
We've been talking a lot about FAs and players that already have reputations, already have identities, and already have things moving out. But moving more towards draft time, do you plan on picking up anybody in the draft? Maybe a new guy comes out
uh,
and he fits perfectly. Do you think that you'd be willing to stifle a deal with an FA to maybe pick up a draft pick or something like that?
yeah, I don't remember who I was talking to. I don't think it was Sans. I don't remember. I did say that I would pick up, like, I'd pick up like one D, like somebody that has like good mechanical skills, just like a general rifler, like a generic rifler. Could probably
Hmm.
pick up that guy from DE, somebody that doesn't, because like it's hard to find, it's hard to rely, like take a gamble, like for like a game sense position. Like you don't want your like B site or like your anchor, like your lurk to be like some D that doesn't really know anything about team play because that's gonna be a lot harder to fit him. I mean, sometimes it works out, but I don't know. That seems like a gamble to me. But like a generic, just like rifler that goes in like second or third, I could see it. Yeah, picking up a D during the
Fair enough.
draft.
Fair enough. So most of the pieces for the rebuild are going to come
Yeah,
from
I'm kind of
existing free agency.
looking to build off of people that I know have good, even if they maybe get cut because of MR, or like maybe it just didn't like they didn't mesh well personality wise with their previous teams. Like I have a good idea of who fits my ideal wants for the team next season, and
Mhm.
most of them are gonna be from previous teams, FA stuff like that. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. I mean, it makes sense, right? Free agency in the long term, in the short term is always going to be a really, really, really good option. But you never know. Somebody could come out of the draft and absolutely shock the whole world. I mean, dropped it this season, so we'll see
So,
how it goes. But I mean, we've kind of talked about your position within the team and your future within the team, right? And it looks like you plan to stay and you plan to be IGL. But do you think that
yeah,
if you
yeah.
were to find do you think that if you were to find another leader or another captain, do you think that you'd be willing to concede that position to them, like in an ideal situation?
Yeah, if I found somebody that had previous, like, I don't think I'd do it for a D, but like for like a previous, like if somebody left their team or they just felt like, damn, all these other pieces are fucking fantastic, but I kind of want still want IGL, and they hit me up and they were like, yo, I was IGLing for this team, um, and uh, and I like your idea or whatever, and I like the pieces that you have. If you and I but I would prefer to IGL if they wanted to come on, and if I believed, like if I thought their IGLing kind of worked for like my idea, like as long as I don't think I'd give up like captain of the team, but I'd let them IGL and I'd move over to like a secondary caller lurk position, play that like island sort of play style where somebody else takes the reins as far as in-game calling, as long as they stick to kind of like it's kind of hard because then I'd be playing kind of like a like I'd still kind of be agile because I'm like you have to like they can do their own style, but I would prefer if they kind of like it would be
You have the
somebody that
final
already had
call.
yeah like if they already had an interest in kind of my idea and they wanted to execute it with me and but they preferred to be caller rather than a larky type style, then I would be okay with that. But I guess that would be on a case by case basis. So
That's
it could
yeah.
happen, I guess.
That would be a huge advantage too, because it's one thing to try and outcall one guy, but it's another thing entirely to try and outcall two guys. That's why Sav was so strong last season, because they had the two caller system. When one guy was out of ideas, they'd pick up another guy and they'd bounce ideas off of each other. Man, they were so strong because of it. You could tell it was two different people calling the game too, because they'd have really, really aggressive site pushes and site takes, and then they slow down just like instantly in the next round. Like it was definitely something special to watch their run into the playoffs last season. But you know, having that other guy to provide input into the round is going to be a massive advantage for you guys. So maybe we'll see it happen. Maybe not. It all depends on how the free agency hunt goes. And I
Yeah,
mean,
it depends on if I get all my pieces.
do you think that putting the label super team on your guys' new roster is going to be an accurate way of describing the team as it stands right now?
Uh, if I got everything that I wanted, I mean, I did the super team thing as a joke. Like, it was literally just every once in a while we'd be in a voice call, like in a 10-man. We'd be like, the super team next season would blah 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 blah. Like, it was just kind of like a joke. Like, what are these guys even talking about? They're full of shit. Like, I was basically shit posting most of the time. But
And then it started like kind of snowballing, especially in the recruit chat in the Discord. And
there's
I
like
think some
five
people
different
kind of forgot
iterations
it
of
was
the
a
super
joke,
team.
and then I was like, well, maybe it's not a joke, but
I think that like if I got all of the everything that I wanted that I've laid out, I got like documents, all right? I got PDFs
mhm.
being shifted out to this next roster, but if I got everything I wanted, I have no doubt we'll make it to like I want to say like top 4 in the playoffs or like even finals. But if I can get like if I could get like at least like 70% of what I want, I think we could at least make it to playoffs. I'm not gonna say that we'll win it all, like, because like I have a decent idea of who I could synergize well, but a lot of that like who wins I think is just like yeah, obviously like players have to be mechanically good, but like it comes off of like synergy and how well like people just like I guess like instinctually play off each other as well. I think Sav did really well like when I was watching when I was like casting them, and even like when I like was watching their demos. They I don't I mean and it seemed that way. Like obviously I wasn't in their Discord, right? But it seemed like their spacing was pretty good, and they seemed to have like a good like mentality of like the unspoken synergy was there where they would swing off each other and trade really well. And I think that is really like a big deal, especially in recruit where like people have a hard time dealing with spacing and stuff.
Yeah, that happened to a lot of rosters this season. But I mean, that's all I got. I mean, I'm out of questions. I got nothing else that I want to ask you. But anything
Okay.
you want to say before we get out of
Uh,
here?
yes, yes. I want to say that fuck you, Enders. You can cut that
Mm.
out actually, but no, no.
I mean, we might quote it on the Twitter, but you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I'm just joking. All right, no, no, that was it for me.
Gotcha,
I
gotcha,
think
gotcha.
my camera's unfocused now.
Oh
Oh,
well.
well,
I'm sure there's a trick that the editing department could pull out of the bag to make it not that way, but I don't know. Maybe they'll just sharpen they'll just sharpen the image. Who knows?
maybe. Who
But
cares? It's an
yeah,
interview.
it really doesn't matter. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching. That was Inside the Mind episode 5. And yeah, we'll see you all next time.